This is Matt with Let's Talk Music. I'm here with Jon-Mikel of Valerian Son. How we doing, bud?
What's up, man? Good to see your face.
Good to see yours and dig the sweatshirt there, man.
Hey, yeah, I got to promote, dude. You know
Uh,
what I mean? I can't buy all the hoodies. We got to sell them.
so I was looking, man. The last time that we spoke was like 10 months ago, and that was when you guys released the Burnout.
Yeah, man, time's flying. I was thinking about that this week as well because I knew that we've been trying to do this interview for probably 2 months or
Mhm.
something. And yeah, it's the band's been around for about a year and a half now. So it's getting scary, dude.
Well, a lot's gone on since we've talked last too. I mean, you guys just released Shock the World, what, a couple weeks ago?
Yep. Yeah, like 2.5 weeks ago.
Yeah, I mean already, 1.3K views, so they were doing pretty good.
We're trying, yeah. I mean, it's still in that developmental stage, I think, but um yeah, it's funny because like that's our sixth release so far. So what I'm starting to notice is it's just the way it works progressively. Each release compounds a little bit, you get a little more exposure, but yeah, 1.3 thousand, there's a K in there. If we can turn the K around and turn it into an M, I'd rather it be a million, but
Yeah,
we're getting there, man.
I feel you on that one, dude. I mean, I think I'm at 135, subscribers now, and I'm just like, hey, I'm happy with that, because I believe when you and I talked, I had like 20.
Did you really?
Yeah. Yeah,
Wow.
so I mean, and it excites me because I'll get the notification from YouTube. This person subscribed, this person. So in the past week I had like 6 new subscribers. I was like, all right, got all excited, ready to pop the cork on the champagne.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you got to take the W's, man. I mean, in the beginning, the projects that I have been fortunate enough to be a part of in the beginning when they were, more scaled and more developed, you always look back to the part that you kind of took for granted, which is like checking your email and seeing, I got 3 more subscribers, and that's actually something that like take the W and be excited about it because it's not, there's a chance that it might not always be that way, hopefully, but you got to trust the process and enjoy it. I mean, it's more intimate right now. You
Right.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
So congrats, dude. You've been working hard as well.
Yeah. I mean, I got to edit 4 tonight, including you. So that'd put me
Yeah.
at 100. I'll say 154 videos. I've got 2 tomorrow, 1 Wednesday, I think 1 on Thursday, and then I got a double bill live one that I'm doing Friday.
Oh, wow.
So, and then I've got another live one set up for the 25th. So, yeah, it's getting out there, man. I mean, I've actually had a dude from Philadelphia hit me up like, "Hey, man, it would be an honor to be on your show and this and that." And I'm like, "How the hell did you hear about me, dude?" And he's like, "Social media." I was like, "Well, that's awesome." So,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, it's a hustle, dude. It's not as easy as it looks. I know for like I don't do interviews, but I have friends that have done them before. And when you watch the videos, it's just like two people talking, but all the time on the back end, I'm sure that it takes you to edit and just upload. I mean, we all have lives and you were saying you work a job and stuff. So come home, you've got to be devoted,
yeah.
you know what I mean, and passionate, and you are both. So
No, I mean, it's just my love of music, dude. I mean,
yeah,
and to hear all the new stuff that's coming out from now, I'm working with people from over in Europe, and I mean, I'm hearing all kinds of stuff from over there. And there's one that's actually, I want to say it in April, the end of April, maybe something, or May. A band that's coming from Europe that's it's their first North American tour, and I've actually booked a live interview with them.
nice.
Yeah, they're female fronted, so pretty wicked band.
Is that going to be an in-person interview?
Yep. Yep.
Nice, dude.
Yeah, I definitely take the live ones over the Zoom, but it's either way. I like talking to people. I mean, the last time we spoke, shit, we went on and the interview was done, and we went on and on, and
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah,
So
man. That's super cool. It's like I said, it's the intimate part of the process is probably the most enjoyable. So, it's 100, five turns into 10 and 100 turns into 200 and 200 turns into 400. And yeah, I mean, your passion for music, that's an awesome thing. I definitely follow you as well. So it's good stuff, dude. It's super sick for sure.
so um in this process where we had just, chatted and whatnot, you said you had some big things coming up. Has that already come and gone, and what were they?
Yeah, I figured you were going to ask me that because I thought today before this call, I'm like, shit, I did tell him some stuff. So it is good. It is good stuff. I can't really talk about it. I will say I haven't even posted about this, but I will say it is uh, labels that we're talking to, and they're bigger labels. So it's believe it or not, which is crazy, but it's a long freaking process uh, to get the right stuff put together. I can be general. It's like we're talking about, supporting tours and all this stuff. So at some point, there will be a bomb. Like I tell my girlfriend, I'm like, it's going to be great when this happens because it'll be like a bomb going off, you
Right.
know? And it's what happened in a few of my other bands too, is like it's literally you wake up one morning and all these things, all these hours that you put in that people don't see on the back end just compounds and your email will pop open. But yeah, we're talking to do two different uh label reps and a headhunter that represents multiple labels. And I've been knocking, dude, on any veneer, wood, anything that I can, because you never know with these things. But yeah, I feel like shit's getting pretty close, and we're definitely ready for it. That's for sure. The independent deal, it's crazy, man. I mean, you talk to a lot of bands and you know a lot about the music industry and stuff. It's a freaking like insane hustle. Like I don't know if you know this, but I was uh I was in the construction industry prior to this, and I was a territory manager in sales, and I ran multiple territories selling foundations. And I don't do that anymore. All I do is 100% Valerian Sun. There's we're small. We don't have like you know revenue coming in and all this stuff because we're a newer band and we're trying to develop. But it's the risk, man. Like I always say, like even to my niece, like if you believe in yourself, like nobody's going to do that for you. So you have to go take the risk, like let people look at you crazy. Like, dude, you're 30, dude. You're eating Tums. What are you doing? Like doing the rock band thing. But it's the same thing as the sales game, calling people. If I don't know somebody that I need to talk to, who do I know that might know somebody that will help us? And um, yeah, it's a rigorous process. So I'm knocking on wood, I'm praying a lot, and the music is thankfully developing,
Hmm.
and since the last time we talked, um, we brought a new member on, Hassan Ali, who's actually in the doctorate program for music composition at Stanford University.
Oh shit.
And he runs the Spatial Audio Research Center at Stanford, and he just did like sound design for the burnt down cathedrals, Notre Dame cathedrals in where is that? In I think it's France. I don't know. I'm not I don't know that stuff.
Right.
But what I will say is, we didn't have a basis for a while, so now we have Hassan, and we're writing with him, and we've got some good music put together, and yeah, man, it's cool. It's cool. for
So you
sure.
went from a three piece to a four piece.
Yes. Tres to cuatro.
And that's funny too, because like not that I've like forgotten or anything, but like I've done some interviews since. I was looking at your latest press release on uh Wikipedia, and I seen that there was four of you, and I was trying to think. I was like, was there four of them before? Was it three? I couldn't remember. So
Yeah,
yeah,
let's see.
yeah. You just kind of clarified that, so that's pretty cool. I mean, how's that working out?
It's good, dude. Like, I live in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. I have a beach place in Dewey Beach, Delaware. So
Okay.
I'm out here right now relaxing. It's a family place. But um, yeah, I'm in Lancaster. Trey, the guitarist, he's around Lancaster. So we're all pretty much central Pennsylvania. And then Hassan lives out in Stamford area. So that's kind of not been tough. Like on paper, you would think that would be, pretty difficult to do because you don't get much further from Pennsylvania than California if we're talking about the United States. But
Right.
he's flown up multiple times. And, probably the most difficult thing with him right now is that he is doing his dissertation and graduating in May,
Mm.
but he'll be Dr. Ali, you know,
Right.
which is crazy. But like yeah, so we got nominated for Central Pennsylvania Music Awards, which is end of March at the Hershey Theater in Pennsylvania. And he's flying in for that. So that week preceding the award show, we're going to be writing for a full week, all the boys. And we just finished writing 4 demos. So we have like four demos that we need to take into the studio, and then we should have 2 more songs. So the hopes are that we want to do the first album this year. And but yeah, it's been great with Hassan. He's a freak player. He plays piano, guitar, he plays some drums. He's a great bass player. Um, he's just a monster. But yeah, dude, yeah. It's not been as bad as you would think. Somebody living in California and us living on the other side of the country.
Right. Yeah, I seen that on your I believe it was on your Facebook about the nomination, because I remember commenting on it and saying congratulations.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that I mean, it sounds like you guys are doing pretty big things. I
We
mean,
all, man. The tough thing is I'm telling dude, Matt, it's like we have, and again, knock on wood, but like the label thing is one thing. We've got a lot of shit happening on the back end, and it's just frustrating. It's tough because we can't talk about it, but we're so excited, and it's this year is going to be crazy. Like the things that we've heard, and the different people that have just like randomly found us, which I don't even know how they found us. I won't say names in particular, but it's like people that I grew up knowing who they were,
mhm,
like from bands who are now, with labels and stuff. And it's not like we have the world's largest following right now either. So it's kind of ironic, or it's kind of odd how these guys find you. But um yeah, I'm excited, dude. I'm excited. We haven't even played a show yet, dude. We haven't even played a freaking show yet, which is like ridiculous. But uh yeah, we're excited we really want to tour really badly. So we're super excited. We got to come out to Ohio, man.
I know, dude. We got yeah, get a live interview, and maybe a beer or go out to dinner or something.
Oh, for sure, dude. Well, if we're in Ohio, we'll definitely do that.
Especially if everything comes to fruition like you're talking. I mean, it's
Yeah.
and I mean I know you've dealt with labels before, so and I feel like maybe this time it's a little different because you seem really excited. I mean,
Yeah, it is different. In the other projects that I was in, I wasn't really like the necessarily the not to call myself a leader, but I did start this band. I lead this project. I wasn't that way in the other projects. It was more of like, we all kind of did things together. Typically, the drummer is not the one that does that stuff. So
Unless
in
you're
this,
Metallica.
yeah, right, Lars. But yeah, it's definitely been different for sure. Like, but it's been good, man. That's all I can say. I mean, it's just so tough again because like you want to call out the good stuff, but you also, don't want to talk about it too much because the way that I've noticed throughout my lifetime is the more that you like flex and boost on things that aren't like 100% yet, it's the worst when they don't happen.
Yeah.
And I feel like it does jinx it, like
Yeah.
as 10-year-olds say, I still believe that, like knocking on wood, and we're so close to doing what we want to do. And it's as simple as just playing out and sharing music with people and making it a sustainable lifestyle, like it's the same reason why you do the interviews, man. It just brings joy to your life. You know
It
what I mean?
does.
It brings purpose to your life, you know?
It does. And I mean, it's, I've actually, since we did ours, I've connected with quite a few musicians that I've friended on Facebook, or they've friended me either way. And, we'll chat here and there on Messenger or whatever, like, hey, how's things going? And oh man, this is going on right now. And,
Yeah.
it's been really cool. And it's like, I almost get giddy. You know what I'm saying? I look at my phone and I'm like, oh yeah, there's Bobby Amaru from Saliva. Oh, there's Jon-Mikel from Valerian Fun. It's really it. People are like, man, you're getting kind of big. I'm like, not really. I just, I have a connection with these people because
Yeah.
they play music, I listen to it, and we both have a common interest and a common love for music.
Dude, it's literally as cliche as it is, it's what it is all about.
Hmm.
Like music is connecting. And I mean, there are some guys that they get big heads, and I don't even understand how that's even possible. Because at what point did you lose track of like why you did it when you were a little kid? Like I remember being 4 years old when I started playing. My dad had like the old 80s rock kit with the two double kick drums and the 11 piece. And like I didn't start hitting the drums because I had any like agenda. And you continue doing it hopefully because you're passionate about it, and it makes you, as you said, giddy and overwhelmed with like joy.
Yeah.
So some of these guys, it's just like they say be careful like meeting your heroes. I've heard that recently. And
Mm.
um yeah, that's kind of part of our goal though, is I will say again, in any project that I've ever been in, all of the members of any of those projects have felt similar, thankfully. And it's like never lose track of like it's music. Like you're not like a doctor, you know what I mean? You're just relating to people.
Right.
So it's
Yeah, and I
pretty
mean
cool.
that's like we spoke a few, was about maybe 3 weeks ago or something like that. I was telling you I was trying to get Ashes the New, and that fell through. I wasn't able to. The publicist answered me, and then she said circle back to me when it's closer to the show, and I did, and it said she had quit the company. So at that point, I was like lost. I didn't know who to get a hold of. I tried getting through to them on the on social media and whatever, but it's not a big deal. It was I was just going. I knew that when I did that, I was probably going to bring your name up. Like, hey man, I talked to your boy John, and he's doing his own thing now and stuff. And you guys still connect at all? I mean,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like the only original member in that band is Matt Brandyberry. He's the founder of that band. So yeah, dude, I used to sell freaking furniture a couple years ago because I went back and forth from music, and I've had the most odd jobs in between. But like, yeah, he even comes in, it's like, oh shit, it's Matt Brandyberry trying to buy furniture. So I sold him some furniture and we reconnected because we hadn't talked in years. at that point. But yeah, we talk pretty often via text and stuff. But yeah, those guys are crushing it, man. I'm super proud of them. Like, um, they're doing their first arena tour.
Yeah.
Uh, I don't know. I think they've done one before, but I think it's with like 3 Days Grace and Shinedown or something, one of the older bands. But yeah, man, if I can help connect you in any way, I
That's
can
not what I
help
was
you.
saying. I was just kind of bringing it up, as conversation. But yeah, I would never ask anybody, and I don't do that. Like, with even with the publicist, I'm like, oh man, can you get me into this? Can you get me into that? That's not why I do this. I mean, I send out a request, I get a yes or a no. You know what I mean?
Right.
And
Play the numbers game.
right, and I'm gonna tell you that there's some tough nuts to crack. Adam Splitter PR,
Yeah, I'm
Amy,
familiar.
he has most of the biggest bands out there, and I have not been able to crack her yet. So, but just gotta keep trying and keep doing my interviews, and it's we discussed this before. Is my interviews are unconventional. They're not your standard of the questions. I don't write things down and say, okay, this is
Right.
what I want to know. I touch on what's going on with you, your, newest single, whatever the album is, stuff like that. And then I just like to talk about music with, the musician. You
For
know,
sure.
you and I talked about what got you into drums back then. We also talked about Ashes to New at that point. And you said, you used to play this big old huge kit and now you shrunk it down so much and you enjoyed that a lot better.
Yeah, you remember, yeah.
Well, yeah, man. I mean, you know what I'm saying? So that's things that are, to me are more fun to talk about than the boring old standard interview,
Yeah. Well,
and
you're enjoyable to talk to. And you're genuine. So I think that's, part of it because Jamie was our publicist for a while and we did, a decent amount of interviews and everybody, is trying, but there are a lot of times I feel like the interviewer is like over analyzing what interviews are. It's just talking, you know what
right.
I mean? Versus, you just ask the same questions. I don't know if I would even be able to do it, but you do a great job at it. Um, yeah, dude, it's a lot of fun, man.
It
It's a lot of
is, and
fun.
I mean that's what I'm saying. I mean, because I kind of think back to the MTV days, Headbangers Ball, of
Yeah,
Ricky Rackman talking with, let's just say, Megadeth or Pantera or somebody, and they were always kind of off in their own world, anyways. And Ricky's trying to ask these questions, and they're just giving him a bunch of shit, and they're throwing stuff around the set and whatever. So I was like, that would be just so much fun to do,
yeah,
but it's different now, and it's like you can't, you got to keep the people engaged.
right.
Attention spans are so short anymore, you know what I mean? And it's,
Yeah, I know.
yeah, I was gonna say, and you as an artist got to know that. I mean, how old were you when you played for Ashes?
I was young, man. I was probably 21, 22.
Now you're 30, so you know what I mean. You've
Yeah.
seen over the years the business, how it's changing, and you went from this big massive kit and doing different things to a smaller kit and a different drum style. So
Yeah.
it shit changes every day, man.
You hit the nail on the head. It's crazy. What I've realized the biggest difference probably since 2013 and 14 um, is the attention spans.
Hmm.
And like if you post a video on YouTube, like it's not real. I just realized this like probably the past couple months, but the wide format traditional YouTube videos, like they're just kind of a waste now. Like unless you have leverage, you're like Logan Paul or Jake Paul or like one of these like massive YouTubers,
Hmm.
people aren't going to watch your long form videos unless they're like typically like on their smart TV or something. and like these YouTube shorts are taking over,
Oh
and
yeah.
Instagram reels, and all this short form like unpolished content. And if you post something that's whatever form it is, if it's polished and like professionally edited and everything, people don't want to watch it. They want to watch like the TikToks that you shoot on your phone with like some goofy filter, which is cool, but and it takes much less effort, which is nice once you realize it. And it's way less expensive because
Right.
I'm not like a professional videographer. But think of that, dude. Like past 10 years, like short form content is king. Even like with this interview, like clipping it down into 20-second pieces and just boom, like a bunch of, you could probably get 15 videos out of this or 8 videos or
Yeah,
something.
and I mean that's the point of the shorts is to kind of give a snippet of your video so that people will go and actually watch the video.
Yeah,
But it's crazy how much you can't, it's just getting people engaged is so hard anymore. I mean, especially, I mean, now you guys, you got it a lot different. You know, when you come out with a new song, somebody's going to listen to most time, because I mean they're 2 3 minutes long, whatever. They're going to listen to the song, and then especially when the concert comes around, they're gonna be like, oh man, everybody's into it. It's like here is people are like, oh well, there's so many people out there doing interviews, talking to people and whatever. And again, I mean, it's more just simple pleasure for me. I it's a way to kind of keep my head clear, and it
yeah,
keeps me engaged with something that is a passion, something that I love. So I don't care if I have one view or if I have a million. Well, yeah, I'm like you, I'd love to have a million, but
sure.
but
Everybody wants a million,
right,
but
right.
yeah, that's when you get the best results though too. So I mean, if you're doing it and having fun, and sometimes you just need an escape.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Like I've done the rat race thing, like, and coming home from work and just I was in sales for all those years, and like turning it off is like impossible. And I know that's like with any career, and that's we represent mental health. My brother took his life when I was 20 years old, and that's a big reason why I kind of just
Really.
dropped everything and went after this. But the mental health side of balancing career, relationships, and just, dude, even just having the mental capacity after working all day to like sit down and play video games, sometimes it's tough to even do that because you just can't even focus on it because your head's just going in 1,000 ways, and we all know that, how that is. So to have something that kind of takes you away from, you know, or splits up your time a little bit, like, and
Hmm.
adds a little more purpose to the pot, is never
Right.
a bad thing.
Yeah, and I mean that's been in a lot of bands that I've spoke with lately. They're big on the mental health subject, and it's huge today. And I got a little story that I'll shoot you through Messenger because I'd rather not air it out. But um,
Sure.
it is it's a big. I didn't realize until recently how big of an issue it is. And
Yeah.
I mean, I have had, I haven't had a relative, but I've had friends that have committed suicide. And
Sure.
it's horrible. It's an experience that nobody should have to live through.
Yeah.
And I get why the person who has done it does it, because I've felt um I felt like that at times, back in my
Sure.
younger years. But
Sure. Yeah.
you also got to think about all the people that are left behind, and that's what's so hard about it.
That's the part that, until I experienced that, dude, like, and I don't have a problem talking about it, or else I wouldn't theme freaking this band around it. But you don't realize that, and unless at least I didn't, when I mean, I was young, so I didn't really realize suicide would really tear families apart and relationships and marriages. And I mean, thankfully my parents still together. It didn't tear their marriage apart. But it's a dark thing. And I'll tell you what, dude, like my goal isn't for like this, of course we all like money, we all like attention, fame, that's all good. But at the end of the day, like it as cliche and like narrative driven as this sounds, it's the truth. Like it's about talking about the things that are like real life.
Hmm.
Not as broad as that, but just like it's tough to even word it, man. I struggle with it because it's like somebody taking their life is such a preventable thing. Like
Hmm.
it's just a matter of conversation and like taking pride out of the equation and telling people you care about them. Like you have a friend and like, as men too, like we have this like masculinity thing and all this, and it's all bullshit. Like at the end of the day, like, you got to take care of the people that you care about. And if everybody kind of like was selfless in that manner, it's something you have to learn. Like I don't blame people for it because I still struggle with it as well, but you just got to like take care of people and it's that simple. Whether it's like even a person at Turkey Hill, or I don't know if you guys have Turkey Hills, but like a gas station, you go in there and I think about this often. It's like you're going to be in front of them for 30 seconds anyways. So you're just going to like look down and treat them like a kiosk, or you're going to ask them how their day is and be genuine about it because you don't know what that person's going through.
Right.
Like they're not making great money. They're probably not doing I'm sure if they got to pick, they wouldn't be working at a gas station, but it could happen to any of us. And, just saying hi to somebody and asking them how their day's been could be like the highlight of their fucking week. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it just seems it's so simple, but it's also like a constant struggle that we all deal with. Like none of us are perfect. I still, I'll wake up in the morning and be like, I'm gonna do something for somebody else today and be a little less selfless. But then there are days when it's like you pick up the Xbox controller and you're like, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? There are days like that.
Well, see,
So,
and
you
you
know,
accomplished that today because you did something for me. You gave me the same.
ah, dude, no, you did something for me.
Wow.
It's just the basic shit, man. Like you love music and I love music. So, it's not a task to me and it's not a task for you. So it's like the same thing. We're just talking and it doesn't like we're not Metallica, but if we were like a big band like that, it shouldn't change. You
Right.
know what I mean? Because it's still just, life. We're
Yeah,
all
but there's a lot more politics involved at that point.
Yeah, well, yeah, time and agreements and exclusivity and PR people but trying to keep it as simple as you possibly can, man. Like it's yeah, it's life is about relationships. You know what I mean? And just being a genuine human being and at least trying to and like taking care of people and writing music, I would hope that like actually has some sort of positivity in it and not just about bullshit. Like if you can be a positive voice at the table, like you probably should be a positive voice at the table and not just talk about like murdering people and what
Right.
I mean? Like it's just like I can't even believe there's some music I like. I'll be honest though, I like some music like that, like for just different reasons, but some of the stuff I hear on the radio is like, I'm not trying to be negative about music, but I mean, that's one reason started this project was just wasn't satisfied in different areas. And it's like, well, maybe we can do something like this. And it's a catch 22, man. Like, um, it's just, I think music, honestly, as far as mental health, I think it's more powerful than even therapy or medication.
It is therapy.
It is. Yeah.
It's very therapeutic for the musician and for the listener. And I've actually got one. I want to say it's tomorrow with a band, and they have a song called Recovery, and it's really awesome. Oh, what is their? I think it's. I'm trying to think of their name. Man, like my head is just kind of spinning right now because I got so much going on. It's like, okay, I've got this band, I've got this band. Like I had one right before you. I mean, literally had a 5 minute break between you and them, and
Oh
yeah.
wow.
So it's hard sometimes to keep it straight, man. But again, I just love it, and um, it's. I'm glad that you guys are doing great, and would love to chat again once everything's kind of finalized.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. Anytime.
So yeah, I'm proud of you, man. I mean, we went from you had just put out, your first single with the band, and now look at you. You're talking record deals and everything else.
Look at me now. I'm wearing a pink hoodie.
Hey man, pink is a manly color.
That's right, dude.
I
Yeah,
got
it's orchid. Let's get it right.
right.
Orchid.
Okay. All right, brother. Well, yeah, I'll let you get back to the family time, and my dogs are going crazy. They need to go out and hit the backyard. So again, thank you for your time, John. And I'll keep my fingers crossed and my prayers up for you guys for everything to work out.
Awesome, man. Hey, thanks for your time, dude. And yeah, anytime we will waste a lot of video time if you would like to. We can talk it up.
Oh yes, I mean I'm gonna have to get the professional version for that. I still only got the 30 minutes, so but
Oh yeah, it's all good.
you have a good evening, man.
All right, buddy. Talk
All
to you
right,
later.
bye.